Herein lies the story of Cassius Valeo, soldier of the holy city of Agaiatar. These are his memories. They begin decades after Cassius and his lifelong friend Amity shared childhood dreams of becoming warriors, joining the legions, and one day fighting for Agaiatar like their heroes before them. That dream had come true. Here they were, at the Battle of the Aster Lowlands, fighting side by side, bravely and with all their might, until Cassius, hesitating to strike the killing blow, was wounded and fell to the ground. An ominous infection soon took hold, turning red veins white and quickly spreading across the skin. Though unperturbed by pain, Cassius would soon be hostage to what became known as contemplation illness. And as foretold by the army healer, whether it took 2 days or 2 weeks, by the end of it, his heart was to simply and inexplicably stop beating. These are the memories of the hero Cassius Valeo, as written by his own hand whilst in the grip of deathly contemplation. My dear Amity, it begins. Was it selfish of me to beckon you for help returning to Agaiatar? Though we both long for home, it will cost us the repute of desertion. As I recall, you were by my side promptly and at the ready, as only a loyal friend would. And as we made our way out of base camp in the cloak of night, our fate was quick upon us, growing closer, the sound of horsemen on our tail. It was fortuitous that the old tunnel entrance appeared before us when it did, and we scurried inside hastily. Awaiting us, a long journey through the haunting, where our world and the realm of the goddess Akshay overlap. In the dark caverns I had much time to think, to question my leave of duty and post. The burdens of battle weigh heavily on my already burdened soul. Perhaps I am to carry this weight forever, heavy as it is, a duty eased only by the knowledge that forever narrows with each breath. In this most dangerous of places, my short life may be cut even shorter with every step we take. At the sight of Haimaz, we rejoiced. The underground town stood glowing in the dark like hope, its lanterns chasing those ghastly shadows away at last. At the inn, finally, we laid our wearied bodies down with sweet relief, and have enjoyed a small measure of comfort. Small, for the mind relentlessly vacillates. I have come to understand that the whole of my life's plans will not come to fruition. There shall be no cottage in the Hastwood province, no heroic achievements or service. I am making a conscious effort to shield you, my friend, from my dark reveries. This journey is arduous enough without them. The old tavern looks just like the depictions of bygone explorers. When we entered, a band of musicians was already playing, and the crowd is still lively as ever. As they sing, my soul is lifted, all worries forgotten but one. This may be the last music I shall ever hear. We've decided to join them for the evening.
True.
I've been contemplating Hoku from the song. I sense there is meaning there, somewhere drowned in drunkenness. I was still searching for it when the Underground Express entered the station with a deafening mechanical roar. I blame myself for letting you choose the fast travel option. Dear Amity, as much as I'd like to see Agaiatar before I die, not at any price. And goddess be bested, the absolute state of these rails and tunnels is such that this dilapidated buckboard almost became our untimely tomb and sent us promptly to our ancestors. We made it off the express unharmed, bested the goddess, and met with a traveling caravan headed to Athenia Agratora, which was most fortunate. Their destination laid in our own path, so we joined them. I vaguely recall the moment we stopped at the meadow and made camp for the night. As I sit and gaze at the starlight, at the elder ancestors' shine, a weight is lifted. I am now contradiction, at once heartbroken and unburdened. Unless my senses deceive me, I believe I am rid of fear. I have found the strength to let go of undue torment, of spiritual deadweight. I have found the strength to abandon the future I once envisioned for myself. The caravan leader woke us in the dead of night, wide eyes under raised brows. With your hand on his shoulder, he warned us of a group of raiding mercenaries from the Territorial Merchant Brigade, just spotted and approaching. While he spoke, my new-found strength rushed through my veins and, though impaired, I rose quickly to help others make ready in any way I could. I extinguished fires, readied the carts for the road, and with you by my side as always, we pulled that old man's wagon out of the underbrush. Oh, what joy to feel useful again. Here's to high spirits. And now, our journey resumes under a silent moonlight. May we remain undiscovered. All of a sudden, a horde of mercenaries swarmed from the darkness and fell upon us. In an instant, we were drowned in chaos. We barely survived as I grabbed your hand and threw us both into the thick brush. From there, breath held in silent terror, we watched as our travel companions were slaughtered. The old man, whose carriage we'd helped pull, dropped in front of us, bloodied, reaching, only to be butchered not an arm's length away. I recall thinking of his old age, souls forgive me, that his life hadn't been cut too short. But there is no comfort in the face of such savagery, and I too am nearing the end. There we remained, in solemn dread, and witnessed the bloodshed. Took us days to finally reach Athenia Agratora, now a gang-ridden city. We took great caution choosing the streets we traveled. This place holds little resemblance to the once great kingdom that occupied this land before the fall. Is this what happens when warriors don't fight? I wonder. And I cannot shake the feeling that somehow, on that bloody woodland, I escaped the death for which I was meant. This thought haunts me. With your abiding hand, dearest friend, I carried my troubled soul through the alleyways of Athenia Agritora as we avoided the corrupt city guards. Thus in the writings of Cassius Valeo, as fortune would have it, there were some who witnessed the two as they boarded the freighter to Agaiatar. There, high above the world of men, a traveler took out a guitar from his haversack and ran his fingers through the strings.
Help mending Long Bridge when a storm had destroyed it and built all the dams near it too. Today I am still in the town I was born, am too old to head out to the blue.
It is said that hours later, the airship ascended above the clouds and the flying city of Sanctor came into view in all its splendor. There it was, at last, the passage to the land of heroes. Their eyes widened at the sight. And there, in its dark side, in the shadow cast by a red evening sun, Cassius saw their ancestors' souls glistening through the sultry grove. Amity took his hand into her own and, mesmerized, spoke. "I know we all have moments when we doubt whether we'll become one of them," she said. "But until that time comes, until we find out, I want you to know I have no doubts about the fate of your soul." At eventide of the following day, the airship docked in the holy city of Agaiatar. From it, a procession of commoners descended, carrying the body of a man wearing a uniform of the legions. Who was this man? Onlookers wondered throughout the city streets as they gathered round. To be brought here in such a fashion, what greatness had he achieved? Citizens would later learn of Cassius. For some, a soldier who'd fallen in battle. For many, a hero worthy of a resting place within the Valley of Redemption. And so it was. Word spread quickly among the people, and eventually far and wide. It is told that the Lord Agaian of Agaiatar came to know of Cassius Valeo as well, and of his fate. Amity was never served any kind of punishment for having left the campaign. Soon after, the war ended and the truce was negotiated. Hundreds came to Agaiatar to pay respects and tributes to the hero and see his soul tree grow. Throughout and long after everyone left, Amity remained at her old friend's side. Eventually the day came when Cassius Valeo's soul tree enveloped his soul, marking the time for Amity to move on. One day, she thought, I'll be at your side again, but until that time comes, may your memory keep me true and light my way through the maze. Taking her time glass, She opened it and poured the sand at the foot of the tree. Basked in sunlight, Amity faced the open road and left the holy grounds.